So you can see these are not cutting dry tissue paper. So they're not going to cut hair very well, but we will try them. Try the hair. You can see it just pushes the hair, folds it at the tip. So those need some love. Olivia Gardens. Hola, my friend. Hey, Jim. I keep losing my bottle of alcohol. What the heck did I do with it? So I went to the sewing shop this morning, the quilt shop, sharpened 15 pairs of scissors and about 12 knives. And there was a bag. Somebody had turned in 3 pairs of salon shears to be sharpened. I had to call the lady back and say, I don't charge $10 for those. I charge at least 20. I said, I will sharpen them and bring them back to the shop. So I told her she was fine with that. So I'm going to sharpen them here at the house and take them back tomorrow morning to the sewing shop. I did not check the set. I think I'll do that before I go further. They look fine. Got just a little haze there at the tip of that shear. Put a little bit more downward pressure on it here. 70 people watching. Do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button. Let's help the algorithm out and let's help my channel out, please. We're Sharpen Right Services. We're located in League City, Texas. We sharpen salon, barber, and pet grooming shears, clipper blades, sewing and industrial scissors, and just about any kind of knife. And I'm sharpening 3 pairs of salon shears this afternoon for our client. Thought I'd turn the camera on and do it live. Appreciate everybody watching out there. Tell me where you're watching from. Jim, is it still cool up north? It is brutally hot here today. It was very warm this morning with my walk with the dogs. We're supposed to get a cold front this weekend, I think, and rain next week. We could sure use, my yard could sure use some rain. All right, I think I got the ride lines looking pretty good. Luis, thanks for coming in and saying hello. And it's 83 in my shop and humid. What's the humidity? I can't see the hydrometer. 68% humidity. It is brutal for this time of year. "102 people watching, but only 8 thumbs up." That's disappointing. Well, thank you, whoever just did that last one. Appreciate it. So we're sharpening salon shears. So I go to this quilting shop, a little town next to ours. I go about every other month, and I set up in the parking lot and I sharpen mostly sewing scissors for the ladies that bring them into the sewing shop. But I do some knives also. But when I was there today, in one of the bags was 3 pairs of salon scissors that the girls from the shop took in, and they charged the lady $10. So I had to call the lady and say, "Hey, these are not sewing scissors. I charge $10 to sharpen sewing scissors." I said, since these are salon shears, I charge more than that." She asked how much. I said, "Well, normally when you bring them to me, I charge $20. If I have to go someplace, I charge $35, but since the shop didn't know that, I will take these home with me, sharpen them, and bring them back for you." So it's normally not what I do, but it is what it is. So I've got to take these back tomorrow. Joe, what you're asking is, these are convex edge salon shears, meaning the edge does not have a bevel on it. It has a swoop down or a convex edge that goes all the way to the cutting surface. And the only way to do that is that little wiggle. It's called convexing. To take that bevel out and make that edge of this blade like an airplane wing. There's two edges to a convex edge shear. There's the convex edge on this side, see that? And then there's the inside, what's called the hone line or the ride line. It's where the hone line is where the two pieces come together, okay? And the hair needs to flow through there. This is a hollow grind. You see that? That's not flat. It's got a slight indentation in it called a hollow grind. That's so the hair flows through there. So you have to work both sides of it. And so that looks real good. You see the same thing. I don't know if y'all can see that or not. It's hard to see in there, but that, you see where I put a bevel in there first, and then I had to remove that bevel going back and forth on the machine. So I've cleaned that ride line up, or that hone line, all the way to the edge. I start off with 1,000 grit stone, and then I want it to look like a mirror along that edge on that shear, all the way around. I don't know if y'all can see that. Does it look like a mirror finish to you in the camera? Very hard to see. Looks very good. Awesome. So I go back to the polishing pad. I just kind of kiss the blade on the polishing pad to take off any kind of micro burr that may be left over from the wet stones. Now we're going to put them back together, then we're going to test them. These shears look pretty new, but I noticed a lot of the Olivia Gardens from the factory are not cutting well. I did a brand new pair just recently. I got a burr or something. Now they're cutting really well. I'm going to go straight to a hair test. So they were folding hair to begin with. So let's see how they cut now. See if they cut at the back. Oh, look at that. Middle, let's make sure the tip cuts good. And they do. They're crisp at the tip. Real point cutting. Girls will put a little texture in the hair. That's cutting great. Let's do our final adjustment. We got 2 more pairs to do. Alright, those feel great. A little final wipe down. Final adjustment. They're not slamming closed. So I hope everybody hits that thumbs up button. And if you're so inclined, please subscribe to the channel. It does help our little business down here in Texas out. We do mail-in sharpening from all around the country. So there's 1 pair of shears done. Let's do the other 2. And when I did my initial inspection of these, the first thing I noticed is they're overlapping. You see that the tips are overlapping on the shears, so it's missing a bumper. So we're going to try to replace the bumper first and see how the adjustment looks on it before we sharpen. Get out my little tool kit. And I think this is a 2.5 millimeter. I'm going to find out real quick. Yep. Which is good because I'll tell you what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to put some Loctite in that. Let's see how they look first. Okay, we're good. I'm going to put some Loctite in it real quick. Actually, I tell you what we'll do is we'll put the Loctite in at the end. That way I can just set them aside. All right, so we know they got to be sharpened. Well, we didn't test them, did we? All right, so here's the 1-ply tissue paper. It does not cut 1-ply tissue paper, so it's not going to cut hair very well. Watch the hair. So it just kind of, well, oh, there it went. See, look at that. Folding the hair. That's not good. All right, so let's sharpen them. And then we'll secure that bumper. Well, if you're watching out there, tell me where you're watching from. We're in League City, Texas. League City's halfway between Houston and Galveston on the Texas Gulf Coast. And it is pretty warm down here in Texas today. Alberta, Canada, thanks for watching. Corpus Christi, hey, thanks, Josh. from UK, Oslo, Norway. Thanks, Leslie, from the UK. Iverton from Oslo. Alright, so we got the ride lines there. Dale, I liked your post that you had. I read it, but I haven't got a chance to respond to it. But you're spot on, buddy. It's been a heck of a ride for me. That looks good. Looking good there. These shears are just worn. Nothing wrong with them. She lost the bumper on them. That's probably the reason why she hadn't been using them. Just got a real thin ride line right there. There we go, looks good. $265 people watching. I appreciate you watching out there. Do me a favor and hit that thumbs up, and if you're so inclined, subscribe to the channel. We get a little bit of income off of our YouTube channel every month. Helps us buy abrasives and offset some of our cost. Man, it was brutal. Well, it's 20. I did the 29 shears on Monday, and I did the 14 clipper blades yesterday. Plus probably about 6 pairs of salon shears and probably 12 knives. Went to a sewing shop this morning. Did 15 pairs of sewing scissors, 12 knives, 2 pairs of yard shears or I don't know, plant shears or whatever, and then there was 3 pairs of salon shears in the work for the salon. For the quilt shop, and I had to call the lady and say, hey, I don't do these here at the, well, I did not bring the machine to do it. I didn't bring the flat hone. So I told her I would bring them home, sharpen them this evening, and bring them back to the sewing shop tomorrow morning. She was happy about that. Oh, it's been crazy. I've got a ton of people bringing knives tomorrow. Everybody's getting ready for Thanksgiving. I'm not complaining, mind you. This business is getting ready to die. It usually, every year it dies after Thanksgiving. Hey, Vinny, what's going on? Where you been, Vinny? I was thinking about you this morning. I was like, where's Vinny? I haven't heard from Vinny. You go back to work? Yeah, I kind of figured that. You got your hands full, buddy. I remember those days. That new baby will put a hurt on you. Ryan, you can go to my website, sharpenright.com, and see all my prices on the different tools and knives. Hey Vinny, if I come to Reno, will you take me for a ride on the fire truck? I've always wanted to ride on the fire truck. Sweet! Hey, do y'all have fire dogs, or is that just in the movies? Dalmatians sitting in the firehouse? I mean, that's what I think about firemen. That you should have a Dalmatian, a fire dog. Man, I'd be so excited. You just don't know how much that would mean to me. Yeah, our fire department doesn't have it. We have a volunteer fire department here. All right, I see a little. Well, I got a little, there's a little burr right there I can't get off. Maybe I can get it off once we use the work the ride lines again. Tosh, there's a lot of guys doing what I do. It's pretty common here in the U.S. So that looks real good. Well, maybe a little bit right there. I'm going to reposition my fingers. That looks good. All right, so we can go to the 6,000 stone now. That looks great. Take care, Vinny. Whoa. Take care, Vinny. Hey, Eddie. Looks good. All right. See if I see that little burr again. Just had a little burr that was popping up on. I still see it right there. I'm gonna have to resharpen this blade. I've got a little spot right there that's driving me crazy. So we're gonna redo this blade. I can't let that go by. So there was just a tiny, like a little nick in the blade. We got to go back to the stones. Take care, Eddie. Thanks for popping in and saying hello. All right, so we got to glue this. I want to test them first. Then I got to glue in that bumper. The threads are stripped. But we want to see if they cut well to begin with. Oh wow. So they didn't cut one ply tissue to begin with. Let me get that tension right. All right, let's try some hair. Oh, they're cutting great now. Perfect. So let's glue this in. I always make a mess with this. So this is the blue Loctite, which means it's not permanent, but it'll hold that bumper in place. Get it semi-tight there. There we go. So we're going to let that sit while I sharpen the other pair. This one's missing a bumper too. And this one's not threaded, so we'll have to put in a rubber bumper. Let's do that first. And I super glue those in. So let's see if this bumper will work. I think it will. Yeah, that's going to work out just fine. So we'll glue that in there and sharpen them. All right, let's give that just a second here. What would we do without super glue? So let's just double check these. They feel really good. So they've been sitting in a minute. We can go ahead and oil them. Do a final wipe down. And those are ready to go back to the client. I don't charge them, Dale. I just let it go. You know, it's just part of doing business for me. I know some guys charge for every little part. I'm just gonna, you know, part of doing business. I'm going to clean that up. Exactly, the knife sleeves, I do the same thing. I buy the knife sleeves. It's good. It's good PR. It's good customer service. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut that little thing off. These are tiny shears. This one's dirty too. She's got all kinds of smoochies all over them. These have been sharpened before. Well, thanks for everybody who's joined us. Do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button. Take care, Dale. Thanks for popping in. Man, these things are so tiny they won't even go in my clamp. That looks pretty good. See if I got all the burr off of it. Light is your friend. All right, looks good. Let's get these done. Tired of messing around here. Seven days until Thanksgiving. Get your knives sharpened now. That looks good. Well, I appreciate everybody joining me. I hope you're having a good evening wherever you're at. Let's see how these are going to cut now. They're tiny, tiny shears. They should cut better just because I put a bumper on them. Oh, look at that, like butter. Let's see if they cut at the back. Oh, they do. Middle, tip. Let's see how they point cut. Perfect. All right, guys. Appreciate y'all watching. Hope you have a good night wherever you're at. Jim, thanks always for watching. Hope you guys have a great evening. Y'all take care.